in Rhode Island. I am so excited because one of my favorite things to do every spring as I get closer to my birthday is head on over to the Wicked Tulips Tulip Farm. Those of you who live in the southern New England area, you know what I'm talking about. They actually have 3 farms. There's one in Exeter, Rhode Island, which already closed. There's another one in Preston, Connecticut, and then another one in Johnston, Rhode Island, which is the one that I'm going to be visiting today, because they're selling out. People are going wild for these tulips. This business has just been such a beautiful thing to see it grow and blossom. It's a family-owned tulip farm, and I have just loved supporting it every single year. And believe it or not, tulips just so happen to be my favorite flower. So it's perfect. I love going and picking them. They're just so big and beautiful. And I have actually bought the bulbs from this tulip farm, hoping that my yard could just be full of the beautiful tulips. And every single year, the bunnies or squirrels or whatever kind of creature it is has ripped them up, eaten them. I started with, I think, 50 tulips, and now there's 4. And even now they're not even blooming because they ate them. So, I mean, they have taken the bulbs and moved them. I have found tulips in my grass. I have found tulips in other, like, different plants and everything. So, tulips in my yard are just not meant to be, and that is okay. I'm totally okay with that. I've tried to protect them. I've tried all these different things. I've tried different like cayenne pepper, lemon spray, all these weird little things. So I'm going to just go to the farm and look at the beautiful flowers and pick them. Good morning, and enjoy them and do what I can. So please comment below with hashtag #HelloLovely on this Minute with Mary. It's a way that you give me a little high five over the interwebs. You get to do a little wave so I can see who is here, of course, and it just warms my heart. It just warms my heart. So thank you so incredibly much. Great to see you, Melanie. Thanks for tuning on in. All right, so I am going to cross my fingers that I can get ready and make this happen. I'm going to do a really quick face. So all April long at MinuteWithMary.com, I have a complexion sale. That includes your primer, your blushes, your bronzers, your foundation, your concealer, your setting products, you name it. It's been going on. If it's part of your base face, but Lumos, she does this whenever I record, whether it's a podcast or a video. She just decides to come on in and blow up my spot as the way that only cats can do, right? As the only way cats can do. I love you, but you gotta be good. So the sale, of course, is gonna be ending in 2 days. If you need a complimentary color match, just drop a little sunshine below or send me a message. I would love to help you on out, to help you feel fabulous this season. This, of course, is really great if you have any weddings, baby showers, bridal showers, graduations, just big events that are coming up. Maybe you're someone who doesn't necessarily wear a lot of makeup every single day, but you do have some fancy events coming up this year. Maybe it's a family reunion or a big cookout that you're excited about, and you just want to feel your best. You want to feel your best and most confident. I'm here for you. I'm here to help color match you and find something that's going to help you feel amazing. And if, of course, you've ever purchased products from me and you ever have any questions about how to use it, that is also what I'm here for. My goal is to help you feel more confident and creative when it comes to your cosmetics. All right, so what I'm putting on my face right now is my Prime and Set powder. This is a fantastic option for those of you who have larger pores, those of you who want a more matte finish. This would be a great base for your foundation, and also those of you who live in a humid environment and you find that when you put your makeup on, your face is already kind of like wet just from sweat. This is great because it mattifies your base face, it fills in those pores and fine lines, it also dries right away. It's a cool technology. It's powder encapsulated, water encapsulated by powder. So as it hits your face, there's this kind of chilling, blurring effect. I love this also as a finishing product to set the makeup. Once again, if you have texture, physical under eye bags and pores or fine lines, or if you just want a matte finish, this is going to be your jam. I am going to be using my serum liquid foundation. It has serum infused inside of it, so it's really cool. I had a previous version and the dropper wasn't working that well, so I stopped using it. And the team went back and they reformulated it so it's super smooth, where it has that skincare built inside. It's fantastic, especially for those of us 35 plus looking to help kind of like add youth to our skin. And they fixed the dropper as well. So this new formula, though, is now my favorite. It is easily my favorite. You can use a little bit if you want to have light coverage. You can use a couple more drops if you want more full coverage. So it's just, it's everything I want and the more. Melanie says that she loves the Prime and Set powder, works better for me than the spray. I agree. I totally agree. I think that this has like the best grip. I absolutely love it. Now, I am in between shades right now. I personally don't really tan when it comes to the summer. I use self tanner. And if I've gone wild with my self tanner, then I am truly like my deepest shade. But if I'm in between shades, I personally like to mix my foundations because let's be real, all of us have lots of different colors on our faces. You know, whenever you get color matched, we're essentially choosing one of the colors that is in your face, particularly if you have freckles, age spots, you know, just darker, more brown toned kind of discoloration. Maybe you have rosacea or redness. You're gonna have more pink toned discoloration. So almost like, you know, if you could like pixelate your face, you'd have all different colors. No matter who you are, where you're from, unless you're like a baby and you just have a blank slate of face, you're gonna have different colors in your face. So when I color match you, we choose one that kind of like complements them all best. We also choose one that will blend easily into your neck. So it's really important when I color match you that I get to see kind of your face, your neck, and this upper part of your chest. I ask you different questions like, are you gonna be tanning? All these kind of things. So for me, as I said, I've got pink because of my Celtic heritage. I've got freckles, I've got age spots, I've got even some purple underneath my eyes. I've got it all. But right now, I haven't had a recent application of my fake tanner, my self tanner. So I'm in between. I'm not my super duper pale vampire shade, but I'm also not my super duper dark shade. And so what I like to do is I mix my winter shade and my summer shade. And that's really easy to do when it is the Serum Plus liquid foundation, but you can honestly do this with whatever foundation you have. It all comes down to placement, in my opinion. So what I would do is if you're like me, anyone else, let me know. Are you like in between shades? Do you feel like particularly in April or maybe early May, you're not quite there to your summer shade yet? Because if so, that is the jam. Oh, you're the queen. You're the queen of mixing foundations too. I love it. Melanie and I are very similar in shades. Hi, Amy. Great to see you. All right, so I'm going to take my winter shade. This is Organza. And you can either apply it directly to your face. You can apply it on a brush. I don't love applying it in a brush. You're going to see a lot of people apply it in your brush, but then it kind of sinks down unless you work very, very quickly. Or you can apply it on a flat surface. You can apply it on the palm of your hand right here and dip your brush into it. I even like to apply it just in the back of my pressed powder foundation, and then I can mix the two. But I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna show you directly on my face so I could show you the placement, because maybe you're using like a stick foundation or a different type of foundation. So here is where I place the lighter shade. I apply it underneath my cheekbone, because this is going to typically be where you want it lighter, and it kind of helps with that faux contour, the opposite of the contouring, where it's light underneath your cheekbone. And frequently your neck is lighter because of course your head is blocking the sun. So I like to apply the lighter shade there. I also like to apply the lighter shade on my chin, kind of down the center of my face, around here. So let me just quickly show you where I'd be doing it if I wasn't completely mixing it. So you can totally mix, particularly if it's a liquid foundation. You just take half of your, summer shade, half of your winter shade, and you're good to go. But if it is more of a stick or a foundation that you place, like a powder or anything like that, these are the areas where I would personally put your lighter shade. Organza and Isla is your perfect match. I love that. That's so cool. Thanks, Teresa, so much for the hello, lovely. I hope you're doing well. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining as well. All right, so you can see that Organza also looks great on my face, right? Like, it's not a wrong shade. Typically, people can wear like 2 to 3 different shades of foundations, and it works because our faces have all different kinds of colors in them. But sometimes people find that if they wear just their winter shade this time of year, then they're like, oh, I feel so pale. I feel like there's no color in me whatsoever. So that's where this kind of helps. So mixing or placing it in these ways that I'm showing you right now. So now this would be more of my summer shade, and by summer shade, once again, I mean if I use self tanner. So I would do this more on the regular parts of the cheekbones, more in the areas of my face where I'd be getting more sun anyway. So I'm just gonna do a little bit there. So you can see, once again, it's not that it's a wrong shade. It's one of the many colors that I have going on in my face. And I'd apply it pretty much like where you'd be applying your bronzer, because this is gonna be where you're gonna be having the deeper, darker shades anyway. And then I go a little bit more around those areas of the light. to just kind of fill in anywhere that I didn't have before. And for me, doing it in these light and dark areas sometimes even gets rid of the need for using bronzer. So if you are someone who likes to have that warmth and definition, you can truly do that just by using placement of your winter and summer foundation in different places without necessarily having to add in those extra layers. Hi, Kathleen. Good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning on in. And then I just kind of go and make sure where those two shades meet, that they're blended. I also sometimes like to use the lighter shade around my eyes, on my eyelids, just to help brighten things up. So as I said, mixing or just placing them in those different places of your face will totally make it work and happen. But you can see it's almost like I bronzed this area up. The areas in the center of my face and then underneath here are nice and light. I am going to go and use that lighter shade in that area just for a little smidge, just to brighten things up. So if I were to place it on the palm of my hand, I would just do it like that, just one wee little drop, and then I tap the brush. So the point for me is I want to make sure that the brush is well covered in the product, so it's not just in one place in the bristles. Oh, thank you so much, Melanie. You'll have to let me know if you try it. I'm excited to hear. So by doing it this way, I will say the disadvantage for me, if I put it on my hand is a bit porous. So it will soak up and kind of keep some of the makeup on my hand. And that's sometimes why I like to do it on the back of either a plate. There's just little like makeup palettes that you can even buy. Or for me, I'll even just use the back of my pressed powder and then I'll wipe it with a wipe when I'm done, if I wanted to mix or just kind of drop it there. So really the world is your oyster. If you are going to be putting it on your brush, just know that you're going to have to wash your brush a little bit more intensely. Cleaning your brushes is a must if you wear makeup and you use makeup brushes. Your makeup gets in it, your dead skin scales get in it. A lot of people who don't wash their makeup brushes get a lot of breakouts and clogged pores, and it's because they just keep using those dirty brushes on their face. Yuck, right? You wouldn't paint with dirty brushes, and essentially that's what we're doing with makeup as you're painting. So right there you can see the finish that I have on my face. I already love this. I feel like by having kind of those two tones going on, I've added that warmth, I've added some color. This is a bit more medium coverage. I would say I was able to cover up some of the age spots that make me feel less than confident, but I still have some of my freckles shining through and some of my natural coloring shining through. So whenever you use a foundation that is buildable, it means it can go light to full coverage. It means that in the areas that you want to cover hardcore, you can go back and kind of spot treatment those. That's what I prefer to do. Rather than doing full coverage everywhere and having, a thicker layer of makeup, I prefer to do more medium coverage everywhere and then spot treatment the areas that I need to. And then my skin just feels more like my skin. So this foundation, as I said, it's been a bit more reformulated. I got some new bottles for it. Absolutely love it. It is still on sale for 2 more days. Let me know if you need a color match, but this is my liquid foundation that is built in with skincare. So it has sodium hyaluronate in it. It's going to help your skin be plumper, look more youthful, and look more hydrated, which is what I want. All right. So now I've got this blank face. Let's go on in and add a bit of definition, shall we? As I said, you don't necessarily have to do bronzing and contouring or anything like that. I mean, you don't have to do anything. There's no rules to makeup. But when you do more medium to fuller coverage, you may want to add in a bit more definition. I am going to definitely need, however, some concealer because my under eyes, they're looking a little rough today. If you're new to Minute with Mary, you haven't been here for a while, you might not know it, but I love to now use powder foundation as my concealer. And you may be like hissing, ooh, powder foundation, what? My powder foundation has shea butter inside of it, so it's actually really hydrating. And because it is a powder, it's going to have a matte finish. And when you have a matte finish, you decrease the chances of it showing the texture. So the physical under eye bags, if they're dewy and they catch the light and they're really moisturized, then they also may show the physical like bags or the texture. So I like to take a light shade of my pressed powder and I go in right where the darkness is. Now, of course, you can totally use a cream-based concealer. Less is more. If you have texture or if your under eyes are a little bit older and they're starting to, get some fine lines under there, just know that putting a little bit of the concealer here and potentially here to help with the lift, and then just blending it out from there is going to accomplish coloring the darkness of the color without having too much product settle in the lines. Do the foundations and the old BB creams include SPF? Apologies if you've covered this already. Great question, Jen. So my BB cream is being reformulated, and we'll be including that. That's going to be a little bit of a while. So it's the old versions did not have it. They had some natural SPF in it. I believe it was 15. The reasonings behind not all of the foundations having SPF in it is that sometimes SPF can have a kickback in your pictures. You know how it can give you like a bit more whiter of a face, or just has this weird kickback. So for me, I have been applying SPF as part of my skincare routine. And then this time of year, I also use an SPF finishing spray. I don't carry an SPF finishing spray at this time, but if I do, I'll be sure to let you know. But I like to use ones like Banana Boat and Kula. And Neutrogena also makes one, because the other thing with SPF is that there is a not shelf life. What is it called? Like, it starts to lose its potency of SPF. So even when you put SPF on in the morning with your skincare, by lunchtime it may not be working. So, you know, you think about it when you're at the beach, you're reapplying all the time, whether you're at the pool or the beach, you know, because of the water, but also because it has a lifespan. So if you go out for a lunchtime walk, you actually want to reapply sunscreen in some way, shape, or form. So I personally, I'm okay with it not being in all of my foundations right now because of that kickback in photos, but also because I apply it before and after in my routine. So hopefully that helps. Hi, Eleanor. Great to see you. Great to see you, my friend. All right, so I used, as I said, my powder foundation in a lighter shade as my under eye concealer. This is going to be a hydrating. You can't do this with every powder, okay? But I know that mine at MinuteWithMary.com do have shea butter infused inside. It is hydrating. It's going to blur that physical under eye bag. You can even bring it down a little bit if you wanted to brighten up kind of in that pore area as well, if you have large pores like I do, or if you just want to kind of brighten that area. But by mattifying pores, physical under eye bags, it's going to cut back on that shine, and that shine is what shows your texture. So I am all for like a dewy, youthful look on most of my face, but the areas where I do have that texture, those bags, those pores, I make them matte. I'm not gonna lie. Let me know. Do you like to have a dewy or a matte finish? So yes, I'm going to be going to this beautiful tulip farm. And what's fun is that they have had these tulip farms for years now. I want to say at least for a decade, if not more. And it just is. It always obviously comes around my birthday. My birthday is a week from today. It's Cinco de Mayo, which I like to call Cinco de Mary. And it's just, I love being able to go and treat myself and pick my own tulips, and they just make me happy. My kids and I like to talk about our birthday flowers. So my son's birthday obviously was earlier this month. It was in April. So his birthday flowers are more like the daffodils and the little crocus. And then my daughter, her birthday is closer, to Memorial Day. And so her birthday flowers are the rhododendron bushes. So that is really neat. Hi, Bailey. How are you? Thank you so much for hopping on in. All right, so I'm getting ready for the tulips. Very excited. I was just talking about texture and skin. I almost forgot. One of my favorite things to do, if you are someone who wants your makeup to look natural, but you do wear a little bit of it, you know, to help feel more confident, but you feel that the makeup doesn't sit on your face right, you're going to want to grab my Prime and Set Mist. Remember, these items are only on sale for a couple more days. So even if you're fine in the foundation department, I'm telling you, you're going to want to grab the Prime and Set Mist. And if you have texture, if you have physical under eye bags or pores, or you really want your makeup to last long, you're in a humid or sweaty environment, you have baby showers, weddings, graduations, anything like that, you're going to want to grab my Prime and Set powder. I love this brush that I'm using right now to stipple on my foundation, but also to press this setting spray into my face. So this is my Kabuki brush. The other brushes that I love are my powder concealer brush. This is just such a great multi-purpose brush. If you're going to be traveling, this one's great. Another great traveling brush if you wanted to try to hop on the sale, because it's 3 items gets you 20% off, 4 items or more gets you 25% off on my site of these base face items. But this one right here, this is like the Swiss Army knife. So this is the total package brush. The first brush right here you can use to apply your foundation, your blush, your bronzer, anything that needs like big space area. Then you spin it, and it is my like a fluffy crease brush right here. So you can also do detail work on your nose, but you can do like all sorts of eyeshadows with this one. Then you keep spinning. This is more of your regular deluxe eyeshadow brush, but you can also use it for highlighting. You can use it also for concealer if you'd like to. And then the last one, yes, there's 4 brushes in this one brush. This is great for lipstick, lip liner. It also is great for an eyeliner, so it's a bit more thinner brush. So if you're someone who wanted to kind of, you know, do some darkness and kind of use eyeshadows or smudge your eyeliner, this is great. Or for lipstick if you wanted to have that definition. So this is the total package brush. This is the one that I bring when I travel. Absolutely love it. You know, it's great for like a summertime, you know, if you're going to be going away for a little bit. Great for if you're someone who's a makeup minimalist and you're like, just give me something easy. That's great for you. Eleanor likes matte at 63. I agree that matte is kinder to the wrinkles. Exactly. And that's why I'm saying too, you don't even have to do matte all over the place. I think matte foundation and matte finish gets a bad rap because of products that people have used in the past that were probably drying, right? So you think matte might look dry, but using the right products, you can still have a hydrated face that looks youthful but is still matte, so it won't draw the attention to those products, to the things that you're not confident about. All right, so I used the Serum Plus foundation. I just put a light mist and pressed that into my face. I used the powder foundation for my concealer underneath my eyes. And now I'm going to go in with my Bare You, is it Bare You? Yeah, Bare You all-in-one color stick. So these are relatively new to my site, and they can be used as a blush. They can be used as a lip color. For those of you who do not have oily eyelids, you can even use it as an eyeshadow. This shade right here, Cinnamon Latte, is my go-to when I don't want to wear bronzer, because it's got a little bit of kind of like a brownish undertone to it. It is an absolutely gorgeous color. You can apply it directly on your face and blend, or you can apply it on a brush. I like to first plop it right there. A little goes a long way. So don't go crazy with it. Just do a little bit. And then because I'm going to be applying this in lieu of blush and bronzer, I'm really going to be working a fair amount into my skin. And I'm going to be applying it on that kind of upper portion of my cheekbone, even a little bit more down into my cheekbone. And where you apply the product first is where it's going to be the most saturated. So just know that. The cool thing with this is it has 10-hour wear. So if you are someone who doesn't really wear any other foundation, but you want to have a little bit of, you know, color to your cheeks and to your lips, this will do it. Like, I've worn this with just skincare and it looks so great. I've had people who say they just pop it in their bag so that way they can always like put a little bit of makeup on and look a little less pale or get a little something on their lips. This one is going to be a really nice natural lip color. So I'll apply it there to show you that as well. And because I'm using this once again in lieu of bronzer, I'm doing it as my bronzer and blush, I'm bringing it to where I would bronze. I'm bringing it into that hairline. I'm bringing it around my head into that upper cheekbone. And it's really adding such a nice color. I need to add a little bit more product here, but I first wanted to show you on my lips. You can use your finger, a lip brush. I just even go like this. Applying it at first, it's hydrating and almost creamy like a lip balm. But it does dry and set matte. Whew, look at me, making a big old mess. It dries and sets matte and it's going to have you really long lasting wear. But I wanted to show you this because it's such a natural lip color. I should not be applying lip products while I'm talking so much. I'm going to end up looking like the Joker. Goodness me. So you can be really precise. You can use a lip liner with it. But as I said, I just kind of, you can either mush your lips around or you can use your finger like I do. I use my finger a little bit because I like it to be a little less of the color. I like it saturated, but if I'm going just for a really nude, natural look, this is great. What do you guys think of this color? Does it look nice and nude and natural? I like it. I think it's really, really pretty. All right, let's add a little bit more onto this side. So this is going to give a bit of a dewy finish, and you can apply it on top of all foundations. It really has nice long-lasting wear, and I'm just kind of scooping. Here's my cheekbone, and I'm doing up to my hairline, and then I'm doing a little scoop. I'm not dragging things down. You never really want blush or bronzer below your nose, as that's going to bring things down. Thanks so much, Bailey. Bailey, have you tried this color yet? I know you had asked me, like, oh, who here has used Cinnamon Latte? And I feel like this is a shade that you would love. Those of you who like either the more brown lipsticks or more nude shades, those of you who like kind of a nice bronzed look to your face, but it's just such a gorgeous, natural look that if you're someone who wants to have a little bit of a springtime glow, looks like you got a little sun outside, this is just such a perfect color. And I don't feel like the swatches give it justice that it does when it's on. But I really do. I use it as if it was my bronzer. And then I'm going to put a little smidge right on my nose just to give a little color there. I'm not contouring my nose or doing anything like that. So I just want to add a little color there so I don't look too peaky. Yay! Oh, I'm so glad you're going to try it out, Bailey. What are my other favorite colors? Great question, Melanie. So my other favorite colors, I like color. I like blush. I like color. So the two strong colors, the two bold colors are Cinnamon Latte, which I'm wearing right now. Then Fresh Orchid, which is a pink. So it's a berry pink. So if you really like those berry colors, Fresh Orchid's going to be your jam. That's the other one that I wear the most. Then there is Peony Pink, which is a bit coral of a pink. This is a really nice, just natural look for those of you who think that this is too much color for you. This would be lovely. It can also act like a highlighter. And then, where is it? Where is it? Are you it? No, you're Fresh. Here's Fresh Orchid, just so you can see. And I'll compare it to Cinnamon Latte. So you can see Cinnamon Latte, the one I'm wearing now, and then Fresh Orchid. It's a bit more deeper pink. When you wear them, make sure that you twist it all the way down. It's a twistable thing, but there's not a ton of extra room in the cap, so I always recommend that before you close it. Twist that little cap down. And then I had one more, but I feel like it's eluding me right now. Where are you? No! It is my other color that I wear as a highlight. It is called Barely Blushing, and it may be downstairs. I'm sorry, you'll have to see it some other day, but it is a very, very light shade that I think is a lovely, lovely highlight. So friends who do not have an oily eye complexion can also wear this as an eyeshadow. You can potentially, even if you do have oily or hooded eyelids, you can wear it up here, but I wouldn't necessarily wear it on your lid. I do have oily eyelids, so I can wear some products that aren't just a powder base. I can wear, for example, like I can wear my stick eyeshadows. These hold on super, super well. I can wear my liquid shadows, but I cannot wear the all-in-one color stick that well on my eyelids, and that's okay. That's okay. Learned that the hard way, twist it down, right? So Eleanor, for you, do you prefer more this kind of a shade, the Cinnamon Latte, or do you prefer more of the Fresh Orchid, that more light berry pink, excuse me, not light. So yeah, these kind of like the stick eyeshadows work for me. Pressed regular eyeshadows work for me. My liquid shadows work well. So I'm just telling you, like, if you don't have oily eyelids and you don't have that problem, then you will be totally fine to also use it as an eyeshadow. I just personally can't. Whether it's the hood or the oils or my allergies or all the different things, I personally can't do it. Angie, you do love brown tones, right? So have you done Cinnamon Latte in the placement that I have done it? So I have it on my lips, kind of as a bronzer blush, a bronzed blush, I want to almost say. So this is just such an easy look. I think I lean towards more bronzy browns. Awesome. So Cinnamon Latte would be your jam. If you lean towards more brown tones, then the color I have on right now, Cinnamon Latte, would be perfect for you. And I love to even I'll wear this on my lips, but as you can see, it's already dried matte, and it just looks so natural. Like, it doesn't look like I have lipstick or anything on. I just absolutely love it. Yay! Let us know how you like it, Eleanor. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. Okay, so we've got different products on right now. I showed you how I use this Prime and Set Mist. Remember, complexion sale only goes through Sunday, and if you already are all set with your base face, your concealer, your foundation, I would highly recommend you get my Prime and Set Mist. If you live in a humid environment, have pores, fine lines, wrinkles, texture shows in your skin, you're going to want the Prime and Set powder. I have several friends who just wear this. Like, they don't even wear foundation, but they don't love the look of their physical under eye bags or their pores. So they'll just wear this without even foundation. They love it. I would get yourself a great brush. The all-in-one color sticks that you just saw me use, those are also included in this sale. So you got to hear the colors that I like. You can head simply to MinuteWithMary.com and click the top there. Where is this? I'm losing everything today, aren't I, guys? You know what it is? I'm not wearing my glasses. I should probably preface videos saying I'm not wearing my glasses right now. And then that way you won't think that I'm a Looney Tune when I'm looking all over the place. There we go. Do you know if the foundation compact colors will be back in stock today? What foundation compact? Are you talking about Eyelet? Because almost all of the foundations, the pressed powder foundations, are in stock. Eyelet does come back in stock today. I looked already earlier this morning and it wasn't there yet, but let me know if that's what you're talking about, Melanie. Because all the other shades are available. It's just been Eyelet. Okay, oh yes. So just, set a little reminder to check out the website. I will try to send a text or a message when it does become available. But in case I miss it, if you want to check it, every time you use the loo or something like that, that would be good. So I personally like to curl my eyelashes. I do have hooded eyelids, and I feel like every ounce of my eyelashes that I can get to go on up help me. But I will say, if you haven't tried one of my mascaras yet, they do have flexible polymers, so the ingredients inside do allow for that curl and that bend. So you don't have to curl your lashes, but if you are a member of the Short Stubby Lash Club like myself, or you have hooded eyelids, then it's gonna help you. I also love to use lash primer. Even just on like the outer half of your lashes. This is gonna help condition and separate those lashes. And I gotta tell you, I'm going to this tulip farm by myself. I am not going to be photographed. I'm not going on a date with Blake. I'm not meeting up with friends. I'm doing all this makeup just for me. It's making me feel better. I had a procedure yesterday and it made me feel rather crummy. And I don't know, I've just kind of, I was talking about things with my doctor and she's like, how are you staying so optimistic with all your health issues? And I said, I have to. If I wasn't optimistic, I'd just be a blubbering mess. But I truly think making self-care, and I do believe that putting makeup on is a form of self-care. Anyone else feel that way? That putting makeup on or doing your skincare routine is a form of self-care, that it makes a huge difference for my mental well-being. So this was just the little wand of my Twisted Mascara, plus that, lash primer. I love using just this wand if I'm trying to go for a really natural, wispy lash look. It gets really close to the bottom of my lashes because I was telling you I have those hooded eyelids. So I don't always use a lot of eyeliner, but you can see how it gives the appearance of eyeliner if I kind of stamp the product on right at the base. Do you see how it looks a little bit more defined, like almost like I have a little black line of eyeliner? Let me know if you can see it. I never know if you can see it through the interwebs the way that I can see it in real life. But that would be, it's cool. Oh, yes, you looked it up as well, says Melanie. Awesome. So I'm crossing my fingers you're going to be able to get it. I have a couple other friends who have been waiting for the Eyelet pressed powder as well. It is coming. It's such a great versatile shade. It's a lot of people's summertime shade. It's funny, it's like just tons of people, they like end up becoming Eyelet this time of year. So yeah, I was debating going back and forth about when I was going to go to the tulip farm, if I was going to go with my family. I gotta tell you, it's not relaxing when I take my kids. I love my kids so much. I love them, but it's just not relaxing. And, they probably don't enjoy it as much as I do, and that's okay. So I'm not going to subject them to it. Blake, bless his heart, not his favorite thing either. He goes because I like it, and he's sweet and loving and wants to, make me happy. But on the flip side, I'm like, I'm going to spend all this money for all these people to come to this thing that brings me joy, but then I end up feeling bad because the kids are bored or Blake is bored, and I truly just want to go and tiptoe through the tulips and pick them at my leisure and just enjoy the bounty of like these gorgeous spring flowers in peace. And I have sometimes gone to the tulip farm twice or even 3 times in a year. And the best times I go, aside from when we're being photographed, if we're being photographed, that's different because then that's lifelong memories. But aside from that, if we're just going for going's sake, I enjoy it better myself, alone, with no kids and no husband with me. So yeah, as I was thinking about it today, I'm like, I'm going to go today. The weather looks nice. It's going to be rainy tomorrow. And as more time goes on, obviously more tulips get picked. So I'm just going to go today and treat myself. Do a little fun makeup. So this is a great, as I said, if you're someone who just likes the look of natural lashes, nice, feathery, soft, and light, using that little wand on the Twisted mascara is going to be your jam. It's just beautiful. It catches like the little lashes in the inner and outer corner. I adore it. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed these tips and tricks. I forgot to set. How dare I? I'm gonna take a little bit of this setting powder. Because as I said, I've got physical under eye bags, I've got pores. I did use that powder foundation, so in a pinch, that would be enough. But because I am going to be going to the tulip farm and I am going to be, hanging out today, you can see how much less shine. So I know that it's hard to see on this camera right now exactly all the pores, unless you wanted to zoom in, the pores and the physical under eye bag, but just that little bit really dramatically cuts down on the shine. And when it cuts down on the shine, it cuts down on you visually seeing that texture. So for me, I just do a little bit right where I need it. I've got larger pores there. I do get sweaty kind of in the center of my face, so then I like to use it around here, and I get sweaty up here, and then I have this lovely bump on my face which will be taken care of in May. Forget what it's called. It's like a keratosis something. I don't know what it's called, but that too gets a little oily and shiny, and for me, I find that if I mattify it, it almost disappears. It almost disappears. I forgot my brows. This is one of the pluses. When you have thick brows, you could sometimes forget about them. But I will say, even if you have thick brows, kind of taking a little comb and brushing out any foundation that might get stuck in them, because that is a big problem. When you have thick brows, it's almost like they attract foundation in them. Look at that. Just combing them through makes it look like I did my brows. Sometimes I will go in and fill them in. I do have, just like with my hair, I have silver in my hair. I have some silver in my brows. So if I do a really detailed eyeshadow look, or if I'm going somewhere fancy, or if I'm going to be photographed, I will fill in my brows with extra product. But if I'm doing more of a low-key natural look like I am today, just brushing them out for me works. But I do appreciate that a lot of people don't have the full brows that I do. So if you do need to fill it in, a great idea is to kind of really make sure you get this kind of apex, that arch of your eyes. That's going to help bring a bit of lift. And remember, your brows frame your eyes. So if you do wear glasses like I do, having some kind of brows, whether you have to draw them on or if you have to fluff them like I do, they really help frame your frame. So it just kind of adds a nice little complete look to it. All right, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget, comment below what your favorite flower is. I just think it's so fun to see what other people's favorite flowers are as I'm about to go and pick my favorite ones. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Minute with Mary. We've got 2 more days essentially of this complexion sale. So my top things, once again, if you're not getting foundation, if you need a foundation, if you need a summer shade, or you need to try something new, please hit me up so I can help color match you. If you know what you want, you can head right to MinuteWithMary.com. But if you're thinking about trying some new things, the Prime and Set Mist is fantastic if you like a dewy finish, if you kind of just want to be able to retouch it throughout the day, if you have more mature skin and you want to kind of press that makeup onto your skin with the setting spray to help it really look, like it's part of your skin, this will be your jam. If you've got that texture, As I said, the Prime and Set powder. There is a setting powder brush on my site that accompanies it, and that was one of my favorites. I do love the Kabuki brush. That's part of the sale. You can use that with any foundation or if you're pressing in that setting spray. And then, of course, my all-in-one color sticks. These are going to last you so incredibly long. You can use it without makeup. You can use it on top of all of the different makeup types. You can build upon it if you want it stronger. You can use it on your cheeks, your bronzer, your lips, your eyelids if you'd like. All sorts of places. I mean, they really are all in one. So today's color that I'm wearing is Cinnamon Latte. It's got that brownish undertone to it. My other favorite is Fresh Orchid. Has that beautiful berry pink to it, still a nice bold color. And then I love to use Barely Blushing occasionally as a highlighter. And there's also Peony Pink for very, very faint coral kind of pink for those of you who prefer that shade. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your favorite flowers. And